Jesus' story is the Scythian comeback against the Persian, perhaps the Medes and the Persians, but Persian. The elite, you might think of them today as the Rothschilds, children of Ra, sun god. It's not Hebrew. If you had an Illuminati, it would be Persian. And Jesus' story is not that. It's Scythian. And that's why the Northern Europe form of Christianity was not the Roman view of Christianity. And so, from the Roman point of view, they were barbarians that needed to be converted, so you sent missionaries to Ireland and Scandinavia and so on. Because we all know they're Norse, which really means, it's a nice way of putting, they're the people from the steppes of Central Asia. That's their ancestry. And from a Persian point of view, that's wild. Wild means simply against the aristocracy. What we recognized as civilized. The peasants are not civilized, they're just scum of the earth. They're just the drones, the ones we use for labour and slave labour, and get too many of them, we have wars and famines and disease and I don't know what. Depends what your technology is up to, really. If you had an Illuminati, it has to be the Rothschilds. Fighting against those that were against them, which was ever this nomadic people that were, from a Persian point of view, you couldn't civilize them. Just as from a, our historic point of view, you couldn't civilize the Vikings. They're Norse, which is a culturally acceptable way of saying they're Scythian. Hordes of Central Asia, the horsemen. Worse, the archer on a horse. You can fire behind him, he fires back behind him. And the argument is, how on earth do you get a good shot with the horse bumping about all over the place? It's when all the four hooves are off the ground. You're gliding. It's predictable. It's at that point you let the arrow go. It's Father Christmas. It's the Scythian hat. It's the Christmas tree. It's the Christian story. The trappings that you say are pagan. Yes. It's a way of forgetting the fact that they are really Scythian. And they pour into your culture and wreck it if you're not careful. So you do everything you can to get it out of your culture because you wish to preserve the status quo. The current elite, does it make any difference really whether they literally have a genetic line right back to Genghis Khan and before and so on? No, it is in fact the case that, most of the earth has a lot of the genes of Genghis Khan, because he had so many wives. Well, I don't know about wives, so many children. Menace, absolute menace. I mean, what we need is population control, and we've got it. And that's all part of our civilization. Otherwise, you've got Malthus. Everybody knows. The field's only a certain size. If the rabbits get too many, they starve. Or the foxes multiply. Yes. To kill them off. Keep the population under control. So we have a reset idea. We have the notion of resets. But you could say we're going through a reset at any time. I mean, you can't tell, can you? I mean, if you look at the 20th century, I mean, goodness. If Mao's busy trying to get rid of, 20 or 30 million Chinese by agricultural reforms, and Stalin did the same thing, I mean, was it 20 million Russians died because of, and I think at the time it was Khrushchev who was running the agricultural policy, the collectivization. I mean, didn't have any choice, of course. He'd just been sent to Siberia otherwise. And what did we get through during the war? I mean, 6 million Jews, 6 million Poles, and who knows if the numbers are right, they could have been greater, much greater. And how many other ethnic minorities that we haven't considered are important enough to even recall? And it went on during the Cold War. And who knows what the population of China is today? Rumours that it's nothing like what they say. Is it because it never was? Or is it because we got rid of a lot during the COVID drama? You could say that was reset. It would fit the, in which case reset's been going on a long time, isn't it? It's ongoing. We've got continuous reset. I'm not laughing with joy. I'm laughing with resignation. I'm not here to change the world. It's a place of good and evil, that you and I might learn the difference. Hold to the good and separate yourself from the evil, and you will do well. Bless you, and you are blessed. So the Jesus story, is it against the reset? The only ones that think it's against the reset are those running the reset. Those that follow Jesus. No, it's not affecting that. This is rather extraordinary, isn't it? Jesus says point blank to Pilate, my people don't fight because they're not of this. My kingdom's not of this world. I am not a threat to you. I am sent only to those that have ears to hear. I take the harvest. And from your point of view, they're the ones you'd like to get rid of. Except that they're quite conforming citizens in other ways, and quite industrious and productive. So we have our place. It's not that it's in your interest to get rid of us. It's not our mission to get rid of you either. I was sent for one purpose only, to tell those that have ears to hear that God is their heavenly Dad and loves them. And if you had ears to hear, you would hear me too. Oh, I don't know what to do with this man. I wash my hands of the whole business. He's your problem. I'm not responsible for having him executed. We can't execute him technically. He hasn't done anything wrong. And I can't stop you necessarily from lynching him. Well, okay, get on with it. It's a story. Don't tell me it doesn't all add up. It's a story. Stories never all add up. It's to scream at you. It's a story. It's not history. But it's a story with an extremely important meaning. As all stories are. They're meant to help you mature from being a baby to being an old man like Marshall. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. Hey, hang on a minute, I object. You didn't mention the British. We, in order to prepare for the First World War and dreadnoughts and so on, we impoverished the Indian subcontinent. Could be anything like 20 million that starved as a consequence to death. It's not just these terrible, wicked people from somewhere else that do it. It's our own cultures. It goes on all the time. Don't you think Cold War was a euphemism for anything but Cold War if you were in, I don't know, Vietnam or Cambodia or anywhere else? I mean, Iraq, fortunately I don't know how many there were. There's nothing new under the sun. This world has been the same for a very, very long time. You may think it's getting better, you may think it's getting worse. Depends what your historicity is, doesn't it? And which culture you're therefore in. Threats of hell and hopes of paradise. One thing is certain. This life flies. One thing is certain, and the rest is lies. The flower that once has blown forever dies. I think that's all very sad. But it's not. It's that no matter what, everything here in this world of good and evil vanishes into the past. Does not return, thank God. And we go on to an infinite future by the grace and the love of our Heavenly Dad. Thank you, Dad. Jesus' story then is of a God of plenty that's benevolent, is mistreated by evil, destroyed and reassembles, resurrected. It's Egyptian. It's maritime. The God of the world is of fire. It's the Christian religion, as opposed to the Christian story. It's of non-conformity, yes, indeed, that sweeps in and plunders, steals from sun god empires, which means actually stealing from power elites, whether they be Persian or Roman.
Power elites are the Illuminati, the holders of wealth. Religion doesn't undermine them. Jesus' story does. And Jesus is talking to Pilate. Regardless of what he says, his kingdom is not of this world and much greater. This world is simply the school of the greater kingdom. And it's in the interest of the greater kingdom to keep the school, because it teaches us good and evil. So, Jesus is not of this world, but he's not an enemy of this world either. He's not come to destroy it. So, of course, the established elites think to make an alliance with such, that God not be their enemy, but an adaptation, a tweak of the religion makes it part of their establishment, most successfully. So we have the difference between the Jesus story and the Christian religion. Constantine skillfully uses that religion to equate with Mithraism, the religion of his army and his enemy. And what is he to do with original Christian teaching, Gnostic Christianity? Well, he just collateral damage. Doesn't belong to organization, civilization, accumulation of wealth, worldliness, the things of this world. It's just Scythian from his point of view. That would be a rebellious religion. Can't have that. But the Western Roman civilization goes into decline because he shifts his capital to Constantinople so that he's closer at hand to deal with his enemy, the Persians. And that leaves his enemy, the Scythians, sweeping down from northern Europe, even as to take Rome. We plunge into the Dark Ages with a Christian religion instead of a Jesus teaching. And it's a nightmare. It's Roman Christianity, which has nothing to offer if there's no surplus to be had. Collapse of civilization, Dark Ages. And it takes the, I don't know what the word is, but the process of the Norsemen, well, to become a farmer, really. To become sedentary, not mobile. To start to build civilization again. But it's a Scythian civilization. It's of a materialism birthed in dealing with cold climates, lack of sun, lack of plenty. It's a barbaric modernization that we call the modern world, what we think of as our Western civilization, that desperately exploits the environment instead of basking in its plenty. It's still the fire god that uses more and more and more energy in consumption. And less of the abundance god, natural abundance, sun god abundance of the maritime culture. It's the epitome of Romanized Christianity religion. The secular world, which itself is extremely costly as regards expenditure on control mechanisms. Not really military, like a sort of communist Chinese approach to things, but in sheer cost of communication control. We need vast amounts of energy now simply to fund our control mechanism. Which is too what the Chinese are doing. We're shifting from military control to mind control that makes religion look like child's play. But it will impoverish its culture and leave it vulnerable to those that maraud and plunder. And so it is that our civilization has come and will go. The cycle will repeat again. For this is the eternal school of the transitory. And except you understand, stand under, in other words, the glory of God, then you see no purpose or rhyme or reason to it. An apparent eternity of repetition. A timetable of a school that never ends. But the players keep changing. What's that about? And who have we lost, and to where? Well, the children aren't up to it. They don't understand that. They're just busy being taught by the experience of being in the school. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.